Okay, they say that happiness can't be bought with money, but I've had one experience in my life where that has proven to be true. For the most part, you're absolutely right. Money can't buy happiness. But that one purchase in my life, one item, one possession that brought me an unlimited, truly a limitless supply of happiness. And I'm going to tell you about that possession right now because I just made a video about it a second ago. I shouldn't have been doing it. I was actually driving. I shouldn't be filming, but I couldn't resist. Made a video about a motorcycle that I once owned that was the joy of my life. Let me just pull in here and stop for a second. Okay, the motorcycle in question was the BMW R1100 GS. That's an 1100cc twin-cylinder BMW boxer engine, with the two cylinders out the side. I've had a lot of motorcycles in my life, and I've always enjoyed motorcycle riding. It's been something that I've dug since an early age as a dirt biker and then a street biker. And that one bike, that GS, was beyond question the most incredible ride I've ever had in every single capacity. Let me see if I can get out of the sunlight a little bit. Hey, I'll drop this bad boy down. In every single capacity, that bike was everything to me. So I had that bike for about 2 years. And the reason I said that it could buy happiness was that there was not a single moment during those 2 years that I saw that bike, that my heart didn't pitter-patter. And there wasn't any time that I rode that bike that I did not feel incredible joy. I would ride it a lot. I would take that bad boy out for the weekend, just all by myself, put my tent on the back and my pack, and head out into the California desert or off into the mountains and just wander around ride for average riding time 8-10 hours a day on the bike, and then just pull over somewhere in the middle of nowhere and throw the sleeping bag. Sometimes I didn't even have a tent, just pull the sleeping bag on the ground and conk out, get up the next morning and do it all again. The most awesome ride I had was with my brother, where he and I took 3 weeks and toured the Western United States. He had his Suzuki Bandit 1200. I had my R1100, my BMW R1100 GS, and we tore up the Western United States for 3 solid weeks, averaging at least 10 hours a day on the bikes, alternating back and forth. After a while, it got to the point where there was no thought between us. No communication on the bike, no gestures. We just knew where we were going, what we were doing. It was like brothers. We were brothers. We are brothers. And anyway, Lyle will confess as well that there was something about, I wish he was here right now, there was something about that BMW that was more exceptional than any common ride that you can imagine. Something about the technology, that German engineering, the suspension was outstanding, the balance was incredible, the horsepower of that engine with the silence of it. It was so... you wouldn't know. You turn the thing on and it would be so silent, but there would be just a rocket ship under there. The smoothness of the acceleration, the incredible ability to turn and corner. Most bikes you have to feel their way around them, and you kind of have to fight them a little bit sometimes to keep them going just right. At least for me, I've never had a bike that was ever that smooth. It would literally glide between the corners and eat up the straightaways in between. My brother's Bandit was more powerful than the BMW, being a 1200cc bike, but that was more like riding a wild stallion. You had to control that horsepower and maintain it. Whereas with the BMW, you rode it like it was more like riding bareback with a horse that you really trust. That would really, you just guide it and it would go the way. Amazing. The technology, again, incredible. It's an engine that requires the systems require 2 onboard computers to keep that thing running. And when it's tuned and in balance, which it rarely was not, it would stay in tune and everything would work magnificently. The bike had a great fuel capacity. I've never ridden any other BMWs except one brief ride on a slightly different bike, another boxer, and it was a great fuel as well. So maybe it's typical for BMWs. But if you ever get a chance, you want to get into motorcycle riding, or if you are now and you're partial to touring, have a look at the GS. It's actually a designated dual sport bike. It's the Paris to Dakar type of ride, but it's as a dedicated street bike, especially a touring bike, nothing, I swear, nothing can compare. Get the heated grips. Got to get the heated grips. Get the outlet thing on the side so you can plug in and wear the heated vest. Great when my brother and I were topping over the Rocky Mountains in the dead of summer, but there was snow everywhere. We were freezing, but we were warm with those little vests. Lyle had one too. He had a hook up on his bike he had put on. Great stuff. Oh man, what memories. Pure happiness. It's going to cost quite a bit to get one. They're not cheap at all, but worth every single penny. I sold mine after I learned Yumiko was pregnant with Emily, and I won't have another street bike until Emily heads off to college. But after Emily's off to college, you can be sure I will be heading down to the BMW dealership and putting in my order for another whatever the heck, it'll be a 1200 or 1100 GS, whatever it is, in 10 years from now. I'm going to get it in red. And when I got it, it was the 1100. Now they've moved up to the 1200. I think they're 1250 now. If you want to take a look at the bike, search the internet for a BMW GS or BMW R1100, R1200, maybe R1250 GS, and you're going to see some specs on an amazing ride that really demonstrates money sometimes can buy happiness. Okay, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.